Hey guys, welcome to Surviving Mars, a game that I have been waiting desperately to get my hands on. And I tell you what, having spent some time with the game, I have not been disappointed. Oh no, I think you're going to love it, guys. We're going to jump in, we're going to play a new game. Now, one thing I will say, when you get this game, don't play it on easy. Don't play it on easy. Seriously, play it on medium to even very hard difficulty, like right from the get-go. If you play this game on easy, playing it on easy is very easy, and you'll blitz through it and you'll get bored with it. If you play it on at least a medium difficulty, I think you'll get so much more out of the game. Because then, like, you know, getting the technologies and getting the advancements kind of feels like you've earned it. Whereas if you play it on easy mode, you just get it all, and then it's kind of like, well, I've seen everything, you know? So we are going to play it on the hardest possible settings. Oh yeah, and I tell you what, it is going to be quite tough. We will, I won't say we'll need good luck, we'll need to not have any bad luck. Let's put it that way. So, how do we get the hardest settings? Well, you can see the difficulty bonus at the top. And the toughest one is down here, Russia. If you just move over, you can see that they just get harder as you go down. So we're going to go with Russia. Now, I guess I'll show you what you get. You only start with 2 rockets. Like if you choose one of the other ones, you get like 4 or it's like 3 or 4 or whatever. The big difference, though, is the amount of money that you start with. With this, you start with 5 billion. So 5,000 M, 5,000 million. Whereas if you start with these, you're starting with like 30 billion, 8 billion, and I tell you what, like 10 billion, that extra 2, 3, 4, 5 billion makes a hell of a difference. It really does. The commander profile, the most difficult one, again, if you look at the top, it's at 190. If we flick down here, you can see some of them are more difficult and some of them are easier. The most difficult one is Futurist. Breakthrough technologies are researched 30% faster, and we get a bonus tech of autonomous sensors, which is as close to useless as you can get. Some of these are really good. Some of these give you a real benefits. But we're gonna play it on the hardest. The colony logo, this makes absolutely no difference. It's purely aesthetic. I'm gonna go with Serenity. Why? Because I'm a Firefly Firefly fan. Oh yes, I am a browncoat. So, and mystery, again, the mysteries add to the difficulty level, and we are going to go for Mars Gate, which is the hardest one. So, yeah, Mars Gate. So now that takes us up to 270, but when we choose a landing site, we can make it even more difficult. So, we get some bonus tech and, various bits and pieces, but our rockets have extended travel time. That's our big drawback. And, yeah, it does factor into it. Right, now we have to load up our first rocket. Now, the game will give you like what it thinks is a good standard loadout to get you started. We're going to make some fairly significant differences, or some fairly significant changes to this. I don't want a moisture evaporator. Now, this is taking a bit of a chance, and this is where I say we need to not have any bad luck. If I don't take a moisture evaporator, we're going to need to find water like pretty early on, which, when you're playing in the map location that I'm playing on, isn't guaranteed. So we'll see. We'll see about that. I do want a drone hub. I do want a fuel refinery. The rest of it I don't need. Now the thing is, I want an explorer and a transport. So I'm going to have to drop down the amount of stuff that I take. And I'm going to have to resupply pretty quickly. Let's see, that gives me 17. I need to get up to like 20,000. Oh, this is tough. This is very tough. Now, I don't need an orbital probe. That gives me an extra. So if I drop machine parts down to 5, I can just do it. I can get the Explorer and I can get the RC transport. There we go. That is going to be my loadout. So we'll go with drone hub, fuel refinery, and the rest of the stuff that's listed there. Okay. God. 5 polymers, 5 machine parts, 5 electronics. That is really not a lot of stuff. I'm going to need a second rocket to resupply me very quickly. Now, where exactly on this beautiful red planet are we going to set up our base? Well, just over here, there is a huge mountain. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest mountain on Mars, Olympus Mons. Now, if you kind of click around, you can see that you get different difficulty settings, and it ranges from hardly any increase in your difficulty. You can get it. I think you can get it below 300 to the maximum difficulty, which if I just move this around up here, I think it. Yeah, there we go. 485%. Now I've gone over the whole map in as much detail as I can, and I can't find anything higher than 485. So this is what we're going with. Now, on the plus side, we've got quite a lot of metals, quite a lot of concrete, medium amount of water. That's kind of the downside. Threats. We don't get a lot of meteor showers, but we get a fair amount of cold waves and loads of dust storms and dust devils, and that is gonna be a pain, a real pain. It causes you loads of problems, as you will see. So, should we get started? Let's do it.
Welcome to Mars.
And here we are. Welcome to Mars, Commander. Welcome to Mars. Everyone at Mission Control is impatient to see the rocket touching down and unloading its precious cargo. Our remotely controlled eyes and hands on the red planet, the drones and rovers. Our goal is to secure a foothold for humanity by building the first Martian dome. This daunting endeavour will allow the brave pioneers, the founders, to settle on Mars and prove that the colony is sustainable. But until then, we have to make sure the colony has enough construction resources, water, oxygen and power. Right, first thing you do, pause the game. Now, I'm not going to do this as like a full-blown tutorial and go into detail on everything because I don't really want to. I just want to get on with it. So I will explain like most of the stuff, but we're going to try and get on with it. Now, one of the things about playing this on hardest level, or the hardest settings, is that some of this stuff is going to take a bit of it's going to take a bit of time sometimes. So what I'm going to do is like where I'm just waiting for stuff, I'm going to skip ahead because it'll just be more fun if I do that. So should we get on and do some stuff? Let's get on and do some stuff. So first, we have found water. Look at this. You start off with one tile scanned. This is your map, the buildable area. You can build anywhere in here. Now this map, some maps, like the easiest maps, you'll be able to move around the whole map. Just you'll be able to drive around the whole map. This one is broken up into different sections that you can't get from one to the other without using tunnels. We'll talk about that later. And you can see we've got one area over here, we've got one area up here, one over here, one here, and one in the middle. So it's broken into like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas. That for a start makes things difficult. Right, so we found water. That is awesome, and I tell you what, that is a pretty damn good starting tile. 3 lots of metals, 2 lots of concrete, a couple of anomalies, which will help us with research, and water. That's the key thing. So yeah, I think we're just going to go straight down there. Awesome. Right, so we found water. Exploration. Select a sector to scan. You can scan up to like 5 sectors at once. You can queue them up. So we'll do that one. Then let's try that one. That one's got metals, concrete. Let's do that one, and probably that one, I think. Yeah, let's do those. Okay, so that's our scanning of sectors done. We have no active research. Now, the research tree, if you haven't seen this game, the research tree is pretty big. Let me just move across it. You can see it goes on for quite a while. And one thing about this game, in terms of replayability, is that these research trees are randomized. They're never the same. Well, no, they're never the same twice. And the amount of research that you have to get to unlock each of these goes up quite substantially. I mean, here you need 1,000 research. When you get up here, you're up to like 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 to unlock them. And that can make a big difference, because some of the technologies, like some of the technologies are quite crucial, and if you can't unlock them until way up here, it can really change the way that you have to play the game. So I'm not going to go like into great detail about these. Let's see, what have we got? Drones and rovers move 25% faster. That's quite nice. Allows the clearing of salvaged and destroyed buildings. That you definitely want pretty much first, because if you build something and you want to move it or change your location or whatever, you can't actually clear buildings unless you've got that. So we'll definitely take that first. Extractor amplification, don't really care about that. Increases research provided by smart. Oh hell, we want that. Okay, so we'll do that second. This is not massively important, but I think no. Let's take the drones and rovers. Then we'll go with that one, and then that one's already researched for us. That's the autonomous sensors. So our sensor towers don't require power or maintenance. Right, so we'll go for that. Right, so we've got everything queued up. Currently, we get 200 research per day, and that's it. But hopefully, we'll be able to bump that up as we go along. But it's gonna actually be quite tough for us, because we just don't have the resources to be able to get a lot of this stuff. But anyway, right. So that's our research queued up. Let's land our rocket. Now you can see our rocket's flashing away there. Let's select it, and it zooms us down into the map, into the sector that has been explored. Where are we going to land? I'm thinking that we're probably going to land kind of over here. I'm just looking at this and thinking, we've got metals. We've got water over there. I'm thinking we're probably going to have a dome here. Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to have a dome here. So I think, let's put you, I want you kind of as close in as I can get. That's as close in as I can get. So, boom, rocket landed. Let's go. Should we watch it come down? Because it is kind of awesome. And if you zoom in, if you take the time to like zoom in, the game is pretty beautiful when you get right down to this kind of level. And look at this. Here come our rovers. Whoa, he's feisty, isn't he? Oh, and that one. Right. Oh, and now these are the cute ones. These are our drones. These are rovers, the big ones. These little ones, these are our drones. And look how cute they are with their little eyeballs. Oh, man. This game's worth it just for these robots. These are awesome. Look at them. Aren't they sweet? All right, cool. Let's actually get them working, shall we? Because they're sitting around doing nothing at the moment. Let's pause. So the first thing I'm going to do, is get them collecting metal. Now, on the surface of Mars, you get these metal deposits. Now, it's only these kind of black, slightly shiny ones. And I must admit, when I'm looking around, I often mistake like non-metallic rocks for being metal deposits. Although on this map, I don't know, it seems a bit clearer. They seem to be, I don't know, more distinct from the other rocks, which is good news, because when I've played it before, that like these rocks and these rocks have looked very, very similar, but these don't, so that's good. Okay, so what do we do? The best way to get your drones to start collecting this stuff is to put down some storage, and they'll automatically go out and get metal and fill up the storage. So if we go to storages over here, and we want a metal storage, so let's get a metal depot. And now, where do I want it? I want it probably somewhere up here would be good. Yeah, I think probably up there would be fine. Right, so I'd take it off pause, and you'll see our little drones are going to go up there. They're going to build that, and then they're going to go off to these metal deposits and start picking them up. So they build that. Now that doesn't take any resources to build. And then look, now we've got to see this just right at the beginning. You'll see that they open up the back, and then scoop up some of this. And once they're full, they take it over to the stockpile, and they get a little icon over them to show you what they're carrying. They are so sweet. They are so cute. I love them. All right, cool. Now this is a very good thing to do because it'll allow you to clear out the area, because you can't build on top of these rocks until you've actually got rid of them. Now, talking of the drones, we've got, I don't know how many drones we've got. We've got about, I don't know, 8 drones or something. Now, some of them belong to the RC Rover, and it's a mobile drone base, and it controls the drones. But also, because this is controlling 4 out of our 8 drones, the other 4 are controlled by the ship itself. Now, when the ship leaves, it'll leave the drones behind, and they'll be assigned either to a drone hub, or they'll be assigned to this thing if it's got room. So that's drones. We need to start building stuff. Now, the building materials, metals is an important one. Another important one is concrete. Now, this is concrete over here, and you need to extract this. Now, this is Martian regolith. And basically, the reason why this is yellow is because this is rich in sulfur, and this is not like the concrete that we use on Earth, which uses water. This is different, and this uses the sulfur, and it's heated up, and it kind of bakes into something like concrete. That's the general idea. Let's pause while I do this. We're going to set up. I go to let's see. I want to go to production, and I want a concrete extractor. Now you'll see you've got an area in front of the concrete extractor, and basically you put that on top of this yellow stuff. Now, if you're too far away, if you're not on any of it, you'll say it requires a deposit. So you just slap it on there somewhere. I don't think I'm gonna bother too much about trying to get all of it. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so we've put that in. Now, this thing requires power in order to run. If we look at this, you can see it costs 6 metal and 2 machine parts to build, and then it needs 5 power, and it needs 1 machine part in terms of maintenance, which is every so often. So, right, we'll get that built, and we need some power. Where are we going to get power from? Well, I'm going to plan out my base first before I do anything else. So I think I'm going to want a dome. Now, you start off only with a basic dome. This is the tiniest, smallest little dome that you can get. You know what? I'm going to let this carry on running on fast because I want them to clear this out. Because I can't put my dome down, which means that I can't plan it out, which is annoying. But never mind. We'll survive. Get these guys go. So you'll see that when you put this down, you get a little stockpile in the middle, and then they come and deliver the stuff, and then they construct it, and boom, there we go. Too early to place a dome. Might be a good idea to secure some oxygen and water supplies before building your first dome. Oh, you think? Yeah, thanks for pointing out the fairly obvious, I would have thought. Alright, come on guys, get rid of this. Now we can help them out. I tell you what I should do. I tell you what I should do first is I should get my my RC Explorer. Now, these 3 are added to this kind of taskbar down here, and you can unpin them. So you can pin them and unpin them and decide what you want on your taskbar. But it's a good idea to have these on. So this is the RC Explorer, and you can use it to explore these anomalies. Now, this flask will give you just research points, pure research points. If we get one that's got a key, which we haven't got one at the moment, if you see one that's a key, then that will unlock technologies. It won't. Let me. There we go. So it'll make the technologies visible. It'll unlock them, but it won't actually give you the technology. You still have to research it. And then there's this one, which is kind of the wild card. This can be all kinds of stuff. So let's go and research that one. Okay, cool. And now the third one is this one, the transport. Now the transport, you can use this for moving stuff around. You can also get it to bring in resources. Okay, there's no metal down there. Oh, there's some metal there. You know what? Come over here. If I just right click on that, it'll come down here and load it up. I could have clicked on load and then clicked on that. And you can see he's loading up and it'll fill up in the back. But that's kind of a bit more micromanagey.
It's not every day that we have the luxury to choose from what Mars has to offer.
Oh, so we've analysed our anomaly and we've got a choice. So we can turn this into either a rich metals deposit, but we've already got 3 metals deposits, or we can turn it into a uranium vein, a rare metals deposit, and a rare metals deposit is exactly what we want. That is a bit of good luck. So we will take that. That is freaking awesome. Right, go research that, or go and analyse that. Excellent. Cool. What's my transport doing? Come on, get on with it. We want to get this stuff moved so that I can put my base in and start putting some power down and all that kind of stuff. You're almost finished. Come on, get rid of that. I want to get rid of this one. They're focusing on this pile of it. Oh, now they're going to come over and do this one. Good. If we can get rid of that, I think we can fit a dome in. Yeah, there's lots of our lovely little drones coming and working on this.
Research complete. Anomaly analyzed.
Cool. So we've analysed that second anomaly, which has given us 1,500 research points. If we go to the research, and this is why this research is now complete, because this took 1,000 research. So we've, this one, decommission protocol. So we can now salvage and destroy buildings, which is pretty sweet. And it's unlocked the next one, which is fuel compression. Rocket cargo space is increased by 10,000 kilograms, which is kind of cool. So we'll queue that up to be researched. I'm not going to adjust my queue. I'll leave it the way it is at the moment. That's fine. But you'll see that the Earth-Mars initiative is almost complete because I don't know what we probably had like 400 research already, and then an extra 1,500 completed that one, which is 1,000, and has almost completed this. So yeah, we're about what 800, 750 of the way through that one. So cool, go. Just get. Oh, there we go. Good job. Well done. Right, you for now, because we need to find another anomaly for him to go and analyse, which we don't have at the moment. So let's move you over there. And then we're going to plan out how we're going to lay out our base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a dome. Where are we? Let's get a basic dome. Now what I want is for the people in the dome to be able to work in the mines that I'm going to build for these metal deposits, but I want them to be able to reach this one as well. Now the blue hexagon around the dome is the range that the people will go out to work. Now you probably think, you might be thinking, well, that's outside that range. Yeah, it's okay, because if I put in a mine, if I go to production, if I put in a mine, so here's a rare metals extractor, it doesn't have to be on top of it. It just needs to be touching it. So if I put that kind of there, if I go in and it's saying too far from drones, which doesn't matter. If I'm not on top of the deposit, it won't let me do it. But if I'm there, that would be fine. So if I have that one like there, and I do a similar thing with that one and bring it in a touch, I should be able to get all of them covered by a single dome, which would be pretty sweet. So let's get it done. So we want dome, basic dome, and I'm thinking about where do I want to be? I'm thinking about there. Yeah, there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to build that now because I don't have the materials to build it anyway. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it in with power cables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run power cables around the building like this. Now, generally speaking, you want to keep your power cables kind of to a minimum because they do have to be maintained. But I don't know. I like doing this because I think it actually looks kind of cool. so I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna run a cable out in this direction, and I'm gonna run a cable out in that direction. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, kind of about 8, and then I'm definitely gonna want to run a cable down here because we're going to be going to the water, and I want to hook up to this thing as well. Now I need to avoid this, so if I go down to there and then go like that, that'll work for that. And then I'm going to bring this one out on this side, this one out on this side, yeah, probably just to there, and the same. Bring this out a little bit as well. Because I think it looks good to create that kind of hexagon look and start to develop that. I am going to try and do some aesthetics as well as actually getting this built and getting it working. So now I can get rid of my dome because I don't need that. So get rid of my dome because I know where that's going to go. Now I can start worrying about power. And the thing is, I'm going to need more components, so I'm going to have to get another ship coming in. So let's see, what do I actually have? Now, it's a good idea to have this colony overview up pretty much all the time, so you can actually see what you've got. Now, we've only got like 8 machine parts. We've got 10 electronics, we've got 5 polymers, which is not a hell of a lot. Now, power-wise, to start getting the concrete going, we can start off by using solar panels because they only use metals. They cost 4 metals to build, and maintenance wise is only metals. The problem is solar panels only work during the day. Wind turbines, which work during the day and at night, use machine parts, which we don't have a lot of right now. So yeah, it's gonna be tricky. And we've only got 5 polymers, and to build a dome takes 10 polymers. So we've got to get some polymers coming in for sure. Right, let's get a power area set up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run a power cable. Let's see. If I have my stuff going across there, so if we run a cable like across there like that. Yeah, let's run a cable across there like that, and then we'll put in. I'm thinking to put in a couple of power accumulators. Now, power accumulators will store excess power, and they cost 3 concrete and 2 polymer. So I need to get the concrete going before I can get those built, but that'll happen pretty darn quickly. So I think we'll put in 1 there, and we'll put in 1 on the other side. It's middle mouse button, click middle mouse button to rotate. And then we'll put in a couple of wind turbines. Now, how do I want to align these? I think probably like that. So let's have 1 there and 1 over there. And then, now I'm not going to use a lot of large solar panels because one of the bonuses of being up on this huge volcano. Oh, and by the way, I actually looked it up. I googled it while I was waiting for the game to load, and Olympus Mons is actually not just the highest mountain on Mars, and it is a volcanic mountain. It's the highest mountain in the solar system. Apparently, it's 22 kilometers high, and because we're up at high elevation, we get all these dust storms and whatever, but we get bonuses to wind power. So that's actually kind of a good thing. But I am going to throw in a couple of solar panels as well, just to kind of get us started. So let's pop in 1 over there. If you hold down the shift key, you can place them. You can place multiple items. Right, let's get that building. Let's get that stuff building. Now that should give us plenty of power. This only needs like 5 power. These windmills will produce at least 5 power, and the solar panels will produce 5 power as well. So we've probably got about 20 power coming in there. Right. We're getting all of our cables laid out, which is sweet. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my RC rover down over here, because you can see that its range only extends up to here. So if we move it down to say there, then its drones will be able to go out and work all the way over there. I might move it over there actually. Give it a bit more range. Yeah, good. Okay, we haven't done any more scanning yet. We're still waiting for this. Now, this is taking quite a long time to scan. So what I'm going to throw in, let's pause. What I'm going to throw in now is a sensor tower. If I go to infrastructure. If I throw in a sensor tower, it costs 1 metal and 1 electronics. But it'll massively increase the scanning of adjacent tiles. So I think I'm going to throw it like somewhere out of the way. So like probably there will do. So let's throw you in there. Now this doesn't, because we've got a bonus, because of our setup, we don't need to power it, we don't need to maintain it. So we just need to build it. Now if I zoom out, now this you can see, let's look at this one. Once that gets built, we'll see that
sector scanned.
Here we go.
Found.
Have we built it yet? We built it. Come on, guys, build this, and then I can show you how much it improves it by. It'll improve it by about 300%. Oh, there we go. Right, now that that's built, if I mouse over, here we go. Sensor towers boost 270% for that one. This one 250. This one 320. This one 146. You get a big boost to adjacent tiles, and you get plus 10% for each sensor tower to every single tile that you scan. So look over here, it's like plus 10%, plus 10%, plus 10%. Right. So that will make scanning a hell of a lot faster. And now we've got a key. So if we grab our RC Explorer, tell it to go and explore over there. Now you'll notice these things have got a battery life. And once this runs down, that's it, they stop. So you have to charge them up, and the way to charge them up is just move them onto a power cable that's got power, and it'll work. Simple as that. Right, what do we need for these guys? We've got power, we need concrete. And oh, here we go, we've started the concrete production. Look at this. I wanted to show you this actually when it started, because it is very cool.
Sector scanned. Anomaly analyzed.
Go away. So it just sends this out to kind of score the surface and drag in all of the regolith, which it then processes into concrete. And if we look around the back, we'll see that we have a couple of stockpiles attached to the back. They're very, very small. And one is for concrete, that's concrete. And this one, this kind of tray, is for waste materials. And it's just kind of like rubbish that we don't want. And what happens is, it'll get just dumped on the ground. There you go, see? Now one of these drones will probably just come along and pick that up and drop it on the... Yeah, there we go. And just drop it on the ground. Now you can set up specific dumping grounds if you want to. So you can set up a dumping site. I'm not quite sure where I want to dump stuff at the moment, so I'm just going to leave that. Right, so now we're producing concrete. We've got our windmills built. Now I know that like some people will say, oh, windmills don't work on Mars because the air's too thin, and they're absolutely right. But they do actually come up with an explanation for it. If you go into the hang on, if I go into the encyclopedia and look up, where are we? Wind turbines. While wind speeds on Mars are generally mild, they can reach incredible speeds during dust storms. Still, the thin Martian atmosphere dictates that the average wind turbine would need winds around 6 times more powerful than those on Earth to create the same amount of thrust. That sounds actually a bit light to me. I think it's more than 6 times. But anyway, this technological challenge to take advantage of what little wind there is on Mars was solved by opting for vertical access wind turbines, which are capable of catching the wind from all directions instead of just horizontally. So it's not just horizontal wind, but like if the if it's coming down or up or whatever, it'll... and also, the materials used are light enough to self-start on much weaker forces than those commonly used on Earth. So, at least they've tried, right? I know it's still kind of a little bit ridiculous, the whole wind turbines, but
Cable fault
they look
reported.
freaking good, don't they? Come on, we want wind turbines. Solar power's boring. It doesn't move, it just sits there. Right, so we are. So we're producing this concrete. I want to put that concrete somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a concrete depot, which I think I'm going to put over here in the same place as the metals. Yeah, do I want to put it in the same place as the metals, or do I want to have a concrete depot over here? I could just put a concrete depot over here for now. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, let's just put it there. It'll be fine. And then our drones don't have to carry it very far, and then they can just come over and grab it and take it wherever they want. Good. Now the other thing, we've got various bits and pieces on here. We want to empty this ship out, so I'm going to build a universal depot. Now this will store 30 of each possible resource. So I'm going to put this. I think I'm probably going to just put this over here. There, we'll do fine. So what we should see now is our little drones whizzing in here and grabbing stuff and just throwing it on there. So they should empty the ship like pretty quickly, I would have thought. Yeah, they're grabbing this stuff and they're throwing it over on that pile. Awesome. And I think that's where we're going to leave it for this episode. In the next episode, we'll set up the dome and get ready to receive our first colonists. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and I'll catch you for the next one. Peace out.